Okay? Okay. So, nonetheless, guys, it is yet another week of the goofiness. And I know that people, at some point we all seem to feel like it'll just start to run out, right? And it never seems to run. If anything, it starts to pile on. Like if you don't get rid of some of the goofiness, like if you don't purge it the way that I do this, then what'll happen is like it'll get backed up in you, and you gotta release. That's the only safe way to exist. You gotta have a way to release. So a story came to me this week, and I thought you guys, for our warm up, I wanted you guys to check out, what is this lady's name? Danico? No, Dank DeMoss. Dank. Now, first of all, before I show you this person, when you think of Dank, right? And I'm gonna just leave it right there. When you think of Dank, then that's what you all right, hold on a second. Hold up. Before I get all the way in, pause. I gotta play the disclaimer for anybody that's new to the channel and doesn't understand how we get down over here, okay? Just bear with me.
This is not a test. This is your emergency broadcast system announcing the commencement of another purge of the BS, sanctioned by the First Amendment. Frustration levels 0 to 100 have been authorized for use during this purge. All weapons are restricted. Government officials have not been granted immunity from the purge of the BS and shall undoubtedly receive the smoke. Commencing with the sound of the gong, any and all BS, especially unnecessary goofiness, will be purged without consequence. Police, fire, and emergency medical services will be available, but they will be busy because they too will be watching the purge of the BS. Blessed be those who have already been victims of some BS. May God be with you all.
All right, folks. So here we go. Dank DeMoss is a young lady, a Detroit-based plus-size rapper. Plus-size rapper, okay? I'm going to just let y'all hold on to that for a second. A plus-size rapper, so I guess that's her stitch, is being plus-size, like just big and eating and doing plus-size stuff, I guess. Because, honestly, let's be real. Plus-size don't really have to mean morbidly obese, okay? If you want to be honest, because I done seen some thick ones that's considered plus-size, but I don't consider them what we about to see here, okay? So this lady was denied service in a Lyft vehicle because of her size. So basically, she called a Lyft, the Lyft shows up, and for whatever, I'm not even going to say for whatever reason, the Lyft driver tells her, girl, you too damn big to get in this car. It's probably a Prius. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was probably a Prius. And she walked up to the side of the car, and the doors probably wouldn't unlock. Like, it's a smart car, so it knew not to do that. It's like, nah, that's against programming there. So I'll let you see what happens here. So this woman files the lawsuit. Actually, it was initially brought up about the driver, and then now she's decided to file a lawsuit against actual Lyft for this. So let's see what they got. Is there sound here? Oh, no, that's just some goofy-ass music. So she's in the lawyer's office in that shot. Apparently, she got in there. She managed to get in there. I see they got sliding glass doors for her there. So they've made accommodations for larger folks. But this is what the lady looked like. Right there. Okay. I'm going to let y'all circulate that just for a moment. Now, I'm just going to say this. Okay. All right. I got to dissect this without getting myself in trouble in this segment here. If the car ain't big enough to hold you, you can't expect to get in the car. Okay? So that's You know what I want to say, Brix. You said it in the chat, but we're gonna. It's the morning show, so I have to try to. Because let's just say this, okay? If you ordered an Uber, she must have ate the first Uber. This must have been the second Uber. She got an Uber Eats first. Then she decided to like go somewhere. But you know you big. This ain't no overnight big right here. Like this is work. This took a minute for her to get this together in such a fashion. So when you call the Uber, you know there's Uber regular, there's Uber XL, there's Uber pool, there's Uber whatever. You see what I'm saying? And if you know you that big, you got to be sure that when you select your vehicle, because they tell you who it is, it'll be like, yeah, it's a Prius or it's a Toyota Tacoma or whatever it is. You get an idea of what's about to roll up so that when somebody gets there, you're not just jumping into some stranger's car because it's parked in front of your building. So this person had a choice as far as like what vehicle to call. And I feel like there's an issue of self-consciousness. I'm not trying to be mean, but you know you big. Like I'm a tall person, right? I'm a big guy. When I buy a ticket to get on a Frontier or Spirit flight, that is with the knowledge that I'm gonna be uncomfortable as shit in them little ass seats. It's known. So I'm not going to get on there and start complaining about how uncomfortable the seat is. I'm going to just be nice to the stewardess or flight attendant or whatever we call them these days and find me a row that's empty and go ahead and lay out. I'm not going to be sitting there trying to like start a whole legal case over this little ass seats on an airplane, right? But this woman, not only, now let's just say this, the lady on the side of her is a news lady. So they thought this to be newsworthy. I believe that's the news lady who's probably in danger right now of being consumed by this woman. But I think she made it out okay. But this woman is basically trying to get like, I think they said $1.5 million for like what, pain and suffering? Sue McDonald's or whoever was feeding you. Now, you know what? Let me pause there because sometimes people have glandular issues. So maybe this money is to try to get that taken care of. But let me be real. This looks like a struggle rapper to me. I'm not sure. I haven't heard the content and I'm a little leery to go there because I feel like it might make me hungry. I feel like, you know, if you call it plus size content, does that mean we talking about hamburgers and stuff? I mean, because that sounds good. Get me your burger, nigga. Get me your burger now. I want a burger, nigga. Get me your burger now. Like, that would be, yeah, okay. And then show her eating and stuff. That'd be like a Weird Al Yankovic, you know, being fat thing. I can see them doing that. I don't know if that's actually her. But if y'all want to check her out, her name was what? Dank? She looks like she smells dank. You know what dank means to regular people? It's that smell in the attic when you haven't been up there for a minute, but it rained and there's like a leak somewhere that you just don't know about. And it gets that scent to it. It's like a mixture of foot and old people and like ass just blended in just as precise. That's dank, okay? So apparently that woman smells like an old attic with a little bit of water in the ceiling. I believe that's... So, nonetheless, let's see what we got here. Does she have a case? She got a keg. I see that. Oh. See, now I'm not gonna lie. I feel like this is not right. Like this is indecent. But what are we doing here? Are we trying to show how amazingly like thick she is? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. But she's a rapper and people apparently have been, you know, she looks like a whole sack of potatoes, don't she? Big Idaho joints. Them big ass Idaho joints. Like, I'm gonna be real. I'm just gonna say this and I'm gonna move on because I have done enough and she hasn't done enough working out. And I think that they should be focused on her health. I don't know, just like the last dude that was on here. Who was that? Dave Blunt's. Remember, Dave Blunt's was on here. This guy was on the stage with an oxygen tank. Like, what part of the culture is this? Hip hop. What part of the culture is this hip hop? Please explain. Because that stuff is getting a little weird to me. Like, we need to go ahead and like help her. Get her on My 700-Pound Life or whatever that show is. And or Biggest Loser or something. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's what the money's for. That's what the money's for. Okay. So she'll be like Lizzo and try to all of a sudden lose weight like Oprah and stuff. And then all of a sudden she'll be shaming fat people because then she's skinny. But right now she's promoting the hell out of it. And that seems to be her stitch. So we're going to let her have it for right now. That is Dank DeMoss, I believe it was. Dank. So whoever gave her that nickname, they were 100% right on that, because that looks like it smells